I just had two questions we should probably put back earlier in the episode. Mr. Robinson, I'm sure that you've already searched this, but is there any chance he could have fallen into one of the wells? Have all of the wells been checked for either an accidentally fell in, or he was put in there? I don't know if we went into that.
Well, in my searches, that's one of the things. My search is based on how far a person can walk in that Sonoran Desert, 118 degrees around this time of the year, out there in that desert, without dropping. That's with clothes, water, and all that, and then with enough water, and then how far they can go walking. And also, in my son's supposedly happen is based on also him not wearing any clothing, to being barefoot, how far he can get. No, different avenues like that, and also the additional 11 miles that was later found on the vehicle. We based all out my search perimeters on those type of things, right? That's some of them. And while doing that, I did discover a lot of vertical mines out there, a couple vertical mines, and the two well sites, the one that my son went missing, and also another one that's north. I did ask law enforcement to check those. They haven't done that. Kept coming. They kept twice. I sent Chief Hall two letters. It ended up being two letters at two different times to come out there with certain equipment that I needed in my searches to search these wells and the mines that's out there, those vertical mines. And they came empty-handed, of course. The one time they did come later on that week with some type of camera, some makeshift camera, and some dogs, some little cadaver dog, little white, little fluffy dog, cadaver dog, to search the mine north, not the one my son was missing. They used this camera that couldn't go into the surface, just came to the surface of water and couldn't go deeper. And they pull out and say, "Hey, that's it, Mr. Robinson, your son is not there." I was unsatisfied with that, so I had to get my own company to go in there. We got incentive with the owners of those wells to give them incentives. Hey, look, we do a free well inspection, just to go search those wells. So I was able to go thousands of feet into those wells, to the bottom of those wells, to search those wells properly. And also the other two, at the time, we thought was wells. Every time I went out there for months, we thought these was wells out there, these vertical, we thought it was wells. It come out, there was two vertical mines. And so now I'm having the companies to this date trying to get down in those vertical mines, but we had to get permission from BLM, and they haven't gotten back with me yet, Bureau of Land Management. So right now I'm trying to get those two vertical mines searched. That's the same vertical mine that Buckeye did. I call it a Photoshop. They call it a well, and that's why I know they didn't look into it, because they still calling it a well. I'm saying no, it's a mine. It's a mine shaft, and but it goes thousands of feet deep, and we really want to get down in those mines. But there's some also around the area. There's a lot of unmarked mines. BLM don't have them on the map. They're called prospect mines. People back in the gold rush days, I guess, built those mines, and they're unmarked. So you have to be careful out there. That's one of the things I'm saying for my searches. I have to provide those type things for the volunteers. Make sure I go ahead of them before we actually search the area, kind of do a recon, make sure there's no vertical mines and things like that in the area before we go search it.